Hello, Duke Egg Grinder here, and I am going to do a video today that is for how to defend against a spear in rapier combat using Florentine or two relatively long rapiers, how to do that with a rapier and a dagger, and then how to do that using a rotella and a rapier or a tussock. So the nature of the primary defense when it comes to fighting against a long weapon like a spear is going to be a parry as you're moving forward on the opponent's thrust, so that you can parry as they're thrusting you at you, and then stepping with a passing step or two to gain range quickly to be able to stab your foe before they can stab you. There's other things involved as well, but I'm going to do this video first. I have a number of them out there that are from a side view, and those are going to show some angles that this won't. But those particular ones didn't show the angles that really show how the weapons are being used to parry the long-shafted spear. So let's give this a try. So we have my back sword, my rapier. So as we come up to a spearman, I'm going to use this higher guard position with both my sword points out in front of me and high. See the V that I've got up here? Okay. The idea being that when they thrust at us, we're going to create that X of our blades and catch the shaft of that weapon as we step and control it. See that control? And we're pushing it down as it would be coming at us, and then pushing it aside either with the rapier or the back sword, depending on which side we want to step forward on. So in this case, because my right foot is forward, my first passing step has got to be on the left. So it's easier with that passing step to push this weapon, to push that aside, that spear aside, as we step. So see how I've got control of that? And then thrusting into my opponent. And if I can't thrust them from there, I just step forward again and gain that range. Okay? So the motion looks like you're up in here. Okay? All right. So I step forward, and I can even step forward. If I step forward, it's very dynamic forward, right? Because if I step forward and catch it here, then I push it here and thrust. Okay? So it's something you got to work out with your footwork and your X parry. I'm calling this an X parry. You can always also use this on a longsword who's thrusting at you. Catch it, push it down, step, come in, okay? So the most important part about this, beyond just capturing it in that X, right, okay, is to ensure that you're being actively timed to do that catch and that parry and then that containment, if you will, as they're thrusting. You can't do it, right? If I'm here and the blade, the point is, 3 feet away from me, I don't jump at it and try to control it while it's just out there in space. The spearman's just got to pull that back and then poke you. Okay? So we got to be here, and when he thrusts, and if I'm higher, I'm maintaining that, I'm telling my opponent, thrust at me in this open area here, right? So if he comes high at my face, I just flick it up, do the same thing, okay? So that X parry, got it? Okay, down, So it's virtually the same thing, dagger and rapier, right? It's just a little harder because now I have to maintain making sure that X is caught by that smaller size of that blade on that dagger. Right, but I can still do it. All right, rotate. Okay, or right, push here, stab. Okay. If I'm just single sword, right, so I'm on here, and again I'm high, right, and as they thrust, right, come in, I drop my sword down, and then parry it to the side, and then flip up. Okay, all right. With rotella and rapier, it's virtually the same idea. I'm not going to try to catch that block with my shield, with the rotella. If I have to, I have to, right? Kind of catch it up in here, but I'm extending out, right? Again, this is high, just like it was with single rapier. Rotella's extended out, okay? And then I'm going to control it with my sword. Okay, so really I'm not using the rotella at all. At need, if I was in here and I missed the block, or the grab and the shift to the parry, right? Sure, I shift over as much as I have to, but that's more of a save, not a defined technique. Because the rotella is not big enough to really be able to do what you want it to do without using active parry with your sword as well, in my opinion, at least right now. So the other thing I wanted to mention is, so what happens is a lot of guys will come up to a line against a spearman and they'll be really hesitant and they'll kind of be in this sword guard, right? Kind of in here, kind of this kind of what would normally be a really good guard fighting another rapier fighter, okay? Kind of in here, in here, you know, those kind of things, whatever guard you're choosing to use. And then and they're waiting for the spearmen, trying to make sure they don't die, trying to figure out how to get way over there to kill them. And so they have to make these blocks, and it's a static, they're doing a static block, which is really difficult to do because as I come across and I try to make this block, right, this parry, this standard parry, okay, because the spearman has two hands, he can feint, you go for it, two hand easy, do a disengage, and come around and thrust at you high, low, medium, all kinds of different angles and places because the hands are it's being held by two hands, not one. So that manipulation, that finite manipulation to that point is so much easier and so much more actively difficult to block because of that. So we definitely, if we're gonna stand at it, we're standing and not trying to figure out how to do it. We're not trying to make these parries, okay? Because those are really difficult. We're doing a containment parry or an X parry for the containment. Okay? All right? But again, that's once the spear thrusts. So if you have questions, ask them. This is an ongoing dialogue I want to create as I'm trying to figure out how to teach this better. Thanks a lot.